Hello, my name is Ingrid Kim. I'm a Russian journalist. Today, I would like to take interview with Mr. Parmukh Singh Hoogan, who is a politician and becoming a writer. Hello, Mr.
Yeah, my name is Parmukh Singh Hoogan.
Uh-huh.
I was born and brought up here in Zanzibar. I'm a Tanzanian by citizen, and I schooled and my education was in Zanzibar, and I've been to Malawi also for 1 year for further education. Then I came back to Dar es Salaam, where I worked for some time, and then I came back to Zanzibar. And later on, I became politician from 2000 to 10. I was member of parliament for this constituency. I served the parliament for 10 years, and somebody convinced me, I'm not a writer, but this will be my first book to write. So I'm trying to put this in writing, so maybe future generation, they can study from what we have experienced. I think...
Absolutely, and thank you with your nice introduction. We want to first question about your beautiful paintings. How did you collect it?
Yeah, actually, these are not my painting. My grandfather was an artist. Here we have varieties of painters. We have artists from India, Son Singh and Thakar Singh. Like they are known in Russia because some of their paintings were sold in Russia. And my grandfather was artist too, and they were very close friends with this great artist of India. So some collection are also of my grandfather, and some are from the local artists of Zanzibar. There's art of Abdullah Farhani. There was Dr. Saidi Abud. In early 40s, they were the great artists in Zanzibar. So there's collection which was done by my grandfather, and we are trying to maintain. Whatever you see this belongs to our grandfather. When he died, we inherited, and now we are trying to promote it and see what the future generation of artists and architects will learn from this collection.
Yes, because it's really interesting for future generation to know history. Could you tell us more about your personality of your grandfather Ajit Singh, who was a famous architect, as I know, of Zanzibar, and his outstanding famous building in Zanzibar, where people, for example, tourists in future can see.
Yeah, actually my grandfather came to Africa in 1936 from India, and he was draftsman, he was professional artist, and he worked here in the public work department. And then from his experience, he has done corresponding course and he used to go for SIT exams in Nairobi, and it was in 40s, that time it was during Second World War, so he had to go up and down and do this exam. And unfortunately, he wrote this book. This is about the papers which he has done in the exam, question and answers about architectural. And we are, these are all things about architectural, and he has done this. He's with his own handwriting. So I'm trying to preserve it, and I would be very, very glad if there are architects from other places to come and do these studies, and I'll try to cooperate with them.
And what famous building we can see in Zanzibar? Could you remind to our viewers for the future?
Yeah, there is one German professor, he was a civil engineer, but the famous building is the reception of the old fort and the bandstand which you see in Forozani, and the old airport, which now VIP people are using the airport, and there are many places he has done a lot of things in Zanzibar. But fortunately there is one German professor. He wrote this book and he tried to compile all his work in this book.
This is Ajit Singh.
And
he mentioned all his story.
Yeah, most of these things are compiled in this book. So you can go through it. And somebody is selling this book at Princess Selma's museum.
Nice. Yeah. So why Ajit Singh was close to old government?
Yeah, they had no option because at that time only Europeans were working in this capacity as an architect. He was first non-European architect in the British government. And I think it was easier for them to work with him because he was from Zanzibar. But instead of bringing people from UK and other places, I think they thought it's more economical to employ him here and do. And actually he had an Indian background. So our culture is mixed Arab, Indian, African, and European culture. So for him it was easy to work in Zanzibar. They cooperated together, and he left this work in 1965. Then he went to Malawi. Also in Malawi he worked as an architect, and he retired in 78. He came back to Zanzibar, and he died in 1986 in Zanzibar.
And also, about concerning this question, as I know, Eric Dalton was his best friend, who was administrator here in Zanzibar. Who support him and motivated too?
His name was Eric Dalton.
Yeah.
And that time engineer here was somebody known as Bintley. And these people, they became very close to my grandfather. And in 1943, Bintley left Zanzibar, and that position as an architect superintendent was covered by my grandfather till after revolution. So he became architect.
1964.
After 64, he left here in 65.
And also I see in your historical house this memorable about your grandfather, corporate member of Architecture Association of Kenya, founded in 1967.
Yeah, Kenyan, they recognize him, the Kenyan. And there's another document there. This is from England, I think, from International Corresponding School. It is there. And these are two things which we found in the records of his document, and we are trying to restore it.
Thank you. Where did you get idea to write a book?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, I made history in Zanzibar because I was the only Sikh member of parliament in the Parliament of Tanzania. I was the first Sikh member of Tanzania. And I made many histories of Zanzibar because Zanzibar is very popular in making histories. And I was the only Sikh from Zanzibar. We are the only Sikh family from Zanzibar. And this version is from our holy book, which now it's in the parliament. Before, we are used to see Bible and Quran, but this is the third book which are in the shelf of our parliament. It is in the parliament now.
It's really historical.
Yeah, and I took it from the Dodoma temple, and they gave it to me. And it was honor for the Sikhs also that it was my first Sikh MP in our parliament.
And could you tell us more because religion? Because I know you have your own language, not Sanskrit.
Yeah, original this religion is originated from India, and it's about 550 years old. And this is combination of I can say Hindu and Muslim together. They are combined, and we had 10 gurus, and after that we have to follow the scriptures because all this writing are put in this, and we are with this.
And as you mentioned, you put it in parliament. So what people feel about your religion, Sikhism?
Yeah, you know, we are micro-minority because in Africa, especially East Africa, popular religion is Muslim and Christians. But here Muslims are minority. We are micro-minority because we are the only Sikh family in Zanzibar. Before we had 9 to 10 families, but now...
Where we are now?
They all left for India, they went for Canada and all this, on the green pastures. So we got up, we stayed here and we worked with our country in the nation, and we tried to work with them.
But you have temple in Zanzibar.
Sorry?
Sikh, is it temple in Zanzibar?
No, we had temple, a place of worship, but unfortunately this was taken away by our government. And I tried to fight for it, but till now I was fighting a losing war. So now we are victims, we don't have any place to worship, and it's very disturbing because we are starving for our spirits, you know. At this age, you need somewhere to go and worship and get some tranquilizer, but unfortunately, if we need this, we have to go to mainland, where we have our temples there.
Could you tell us about your political life? Some short story.
My political life?
Yeah, because we know you meet a lot of residents.
Yeah, you know, it was an adventure and very challenging, and you meet a lot of people, popular people of the world, and I was lucky. I attended the conference against racism in South Africa. It was in Durban, and when we attended there, Thabo Mbeki's father died, so we had to attend the funeral at Port Elizabeth, and there I met most of the popular people of the world. That's how I came to see President Castro. I met President of Palestine, Yasser Arafat, Desmond Tutu, Kenneth Kaunda, and many popular people of the world were there attending this funeral. And also, it's a challenging job because to lead the poverty society, there is a lot of challenges. And during our time, we didn't have this constituency allowances. So it was a problem. We had to work hard and see different people and talk to everybody, so that whatever donation we get, we injected that in our schools, we injected that in our sports and many other social things.
Thank you. It's so interesting. It's also because I'm representing Russia side. I know that you have even some, as I heard from your friends in Russia. Could you tell more about your experience of Russian side during your politician being?
What I can say, actually we are not friends of Russia. Russians are our brothers. And I don't know if you Russians, you know that even your Honorable President Putin, he was in Tanzania. And I feel one day he should come to Tanzania so that many people should know his history, that he was here. Wow. And he worked for the freedom fighters of Frelimo, and they had their base in Bagamoyo. And Bagamoyo also at Kaole. Also Bagamoyo is a historical place. This is where was outlet of the slavery from interior mainland. They used to come there, and then from there they sailed to Zanzibar, where the main market was here. So Bagamoyo also has history. It has a slavery history, and also Putin came here. And I feel one day he should come, so that even I'm happy if I see him and say hello to him and shake hands. I think it will be a big opportunity for me in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. We wish you all the best about your desire. So what about investment? What do you think for future Zanzibar, especially concerning Russian tourism's flow? It's very huge in this year.
I think this is a good breakthrough, because I'm happy to hear that Honorable Putin, he is the one who said that he should come to Tanzania. So this is boosting our tourist industry. I think it's a good boost, and it's not enough, Russians should come and invest in the tourism itself. Instead of coming to visit Zanzibar, they should put input in our tourism. And there are a lot of things when they come to do for Tanzania, I think.
Could you mention which resources here Tanzania has?
Yeah, we talk about tourism, and also if you go in the trading field, I think Russians have a lot of input. We have about 200 kilometers exclusive zone, fishing zone. They can come here, because I know Russians are in Mozambique, and they should come in Tanzania. And also Tanzania is a big land. We have natural resources. We have a lot of minerals. We have good wildlife. We have good things to see. We have the highest mountain in Africa. It is in Tanzania. Mount Kilimanjaro. We have the deepest lake. We have Ngorongoro crater. We have Selu Game Reserve. And also Sadani. Sadani is the only place in the world where this game reserve is on the shores of Indian Ocean. I think it's a nice place to come, and there's a lot of things to see in Tanzania. If you have never been there, if you have not been here, it's an intact place, and they'll enjoy whatever they see. Only I would advise the Russians, because we have our culture here and tradition. I think they should respect our culture. That it's not good for us to walk with bikinis in the street, At least they should dress nicely like you.
And
it will have a great input.
What if we talk about season? Like, is it the best time to come to visit Zanzibar?
Yeah, best is during summer, because during rain season most of the places you cannot go.
I just explained in Russia we have 4 seasons, so a little bit different from here. Could you mention which months? Because we have summer, for example, in Russia. June, July, August.
I think all year round you can come. Only rainy season is during end of April to end of May. June, July, August, and all these are very friendly season for tourism, and they come. Even when you go to the game reserve, it's very place. It's good to go.
Yeah, it's very
during
good.
that time.
Yeah, so I would like to maybe wish something to our viewers. Maybe.
What?
Maybe recommend something Russian tourists to see when they came to Zanzibar first time about Stone Town.
Yeah, Stone Town is a unique place, because Stone Town is the only place in the world also. It is mixed architecture of Indian, African, Arab, and European architecture is there. And also Zanzibar is a rich historical place. We don't have minerals in Zanzibar, but it's a historical position. All influence came to Zanzibar, like the Muslims first arrived in Zanzibar and it spread to mainland. Christians also, they came to Zanzibar first. This Anglican church, it was built in I think 72 or 92. This was the first Anglican church in East and Central Africa. And also the communist influence and the socialist influence. After revolution, they were the first countries to recognize our revolution. And I remember the first few countries who recognized Zanzibar revolution was the Soviet Union, was German Democratic Republic, Cuba, China, and all these Eastern blocs. We had a lot of people from Romania and all, Hungary and all, and they provided us a lot of scholarships. And because we were a young nation that time, most of our people went to their country for further study.
Yes, it's very amazing and interesting.
Yeah, and maybe I should not forget, even our previous president, Dr. Ali Mohammed Sheikh, he was trained in Russia, and he's a professional doctor of biochemist, and he was trained in Russia, Moscow, I think.
And also, I remember you said to visit the passing by Nazimoja Hospital. It was named before, after revolution 1964, Lenin.
Yeah, after revolution it was named via Lenin Hospital, and then I don't know why. Yeah, now it's known as Nazimoja Hospital. But Nazimoja, this name comes from the ground, you know. This is ground which is in front of my house. They call it Nazimoja ground.
Thank you so much for your wonderful
It was pleasure.
In interview. It was Parmukh Singh, politician from Zanzibar, and interviewer Ingrid Kim. See you next time. Thank you.